How you doing, YouTube? It's your boy Nias the Karibo again. I'm gonna make this video very, very quick. I wanted to address the winter format and how I felt about it overall. I'm gonna talk about decks, the ban list, and opinions. Starting out with the format, it was early January. People were happy that dragons were finally dead. Dragon's Ravine, 7-star Sword, and Return and 6 Cent were gone. And Super Rejuve, you didn't have to worry about Dragon Rulers. 2013 was the year of the Dragon Rulers, and it's finally over. So a lot of people want to, start running to decks they ran before, or decks that were just coming out. Early format, we had Blue Eyes and Mythic Ruler Dragons, and they didn't really take off. They were inconsistent and didn't have enough dragon food. Gear took off a lot because Sanpetigo won overseas with Gear versus Dragons, and then Dragons got hit, so it made Gear look like it was the absolute best deck. It's very consistent and very powerful, so I can see why people ran it. Because Tinky went to 3, a lot of people started trying Boozing and 3-axis. 3-axis was good. And a lot of people ran Spellbook because it stayed good out of the Dragon format. And they were pretty good decks. They all kind of faded away now. They're not as good, especially not Dragon Rulers, because they just get outsped. People learn and they make faster decks. Later to the format, which is February, we get into Hoban's Heraldic Rulers, which was like the best dragon deck that we had this format. And then we have +1 Fist by Dalton and Bogley and Jordan Winters, which is by far my favorite deck of this format. I'm a big Fire Fist fan anyway. And then we have Hope and Mermail. Right when I thought Mermails were fading away, because the only thing they have with when they try to OTK you with Diva and Megalo, Hoban comes through with a hashtag Hobaning, and he starts running Upstarts and Reckless Greeds. And the Mermail deck and he runs the 4s like Abyss Sturge, and the Mermail deck just becomes way too explosive and controlling and able to keep up with everything. And Hoban really launched a wave this format as far as Heraldic Rulers and Upstart and Reckless Greed. So people like to hate on him, but that's basically what he did. And you can't take away from him what he did. My good opinions about this format is I obviously love this format. This is like my farewell address to the winter format because it was my favorite in the last 2 years. Since the water fire format that we had previously. It's a format that was much slower. We ran Upstarts, which promoted longer gameplays, and we had more back rows, which promoted better play in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Was meant to just shit out tuners, exceeds, and dragon rulers all throughout the game. That's not what it was made for. And what's it called? I mean, we even ran 7 tools. Any format, I would say any format where you consider 7 tools is automatically a good format. We ran 7 tools more in the early format with Blackhorn Heaven, but still. Now, there's some people who have bad opinions about the format. A lot of people who used to play dragons and aren't that good with them, they're not that good in the game anymore currently. And some people just think that this format was boring. I can see where they're coming from when they say that it's boring, because it is a much slower format. It takes more thinking, and you're not just gonna spam out big Drago sacks or things like that left and right. This is a much more slower format, and you have to respect each other's back rows. You just can't spam out big cards and not expect to be punished like dragons used to. But there wasn't a lot of people that thought this format was bad, but there are people out there who do think that. Closing out my video, I wanted to talk about the ban list address for this format. This isn't a prediction ban list or anything like that. These are just cards that I feel like Konami needs to address before we go on to the next format, except for Exciton. Off the back, I banned Laval Chain because I don't like decks that promote solitary play like Dragoonity or Laval's or Infernity. And I have a long running hit with Infernity, so I hit Laval Chain because I just like Dark Worlds is a solitary deck too, but that deck's been hit, and I don't hate Dark Worlds as much as everyone else does. But Infirmities definitely need to be hit because you shouldn't be able to spam out a field full of monsters and a field full of broken back row. Uh, that's not what the game was designed for. Not at the little cost that it does. So I think Infirmities need to be hit, or just the Volvo chain in general. Infirmities can stay around. If I want to hit Infirmities, I'd hit Barrier, but I'm not gonna do that. You don't want it to kill the deck, but you need to make it more respectable. As far as cards going to 1, Exciton isn't gonna go to 1 right now because it's too new, but by next format they're gonna have to address Exciton because decks that could just spam Exciton like Gear and Evil Swarm, which shits the card out, needs to be addressed. Exciton's a great card. It needs to be a 1. It doesn't need to be a 3. The next card I want to talk about is Gear. Gear. Some people say Armor needs to be hit. It's either Armor or Gear. Gear is a little too broken. It's a Rescue Rabbit in trap form. And there's really nothing else you can add to that. It's just really good at what it does. I almost forgot to hit a Mermail card when I made this list. I'm not going to hit Lindy, which is not a bad idea. So for me, it was either between Spear or Tias. And Spear is a respectable card, honestly. So I'm going to say hit Abystius because that card is a little too good, especially if they go Abystius and Dragoons. And Dragoons is already at 1. I'm not trying to kill Mermails, but Mermail need to be slowed down again, thanks to Hoban. And I would say Abystius needs to go to 1. Semi-limited, I have Reckless Greed because Reckless Greed, that and Solemn Warning are literally the most powerful trap cards in the game right now. And Reckless Greed, if your opponent opens 2 out of 3, you're already way behind. And if he opens 3, that's just, you auto lose. It's the equivalency of a 6 cent, except not nearly as, broken. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to put Reckless to 1 because I think that's just ridiculous. Just put it to 2 and stay there. I mean, it's not a bad card, but it is bad if you draw multiples. Next, we get to a big issue about Fire Fist. People say, I think Tiki needs to go back to 2 where it was, and either Wolfbark or Bear needs to get hit in some form or fashion. Some people think Tinky needs to go to 1. I think that would completely eliminate Fire Fist and almost Bujins from competitive play. I definitely don't think that that needs to happen. I think some people are just a little butthurt about Fire Fist, which is a good deck to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall, in my opinion. Some people say they're the equivalency of Rotas, and I mean, I disagree, but because you can space Tinky, and you can only get once per turn, blah, blah, blah. But, it's up to opinion. Some people say they think Wolfbark needs to go to 1. I'm a big Wolfbark fan, so I think that that's a little over the top. But I can see it going to 2. Some people think that might not be good enough, so we'll see what happens. But I think Tinky should go to 2, Wolfbark should go to 2, or Bear should go to 2. Putting any of those cards at 1 just completely eliminates the deck, like, seriously. And the deck honestly doesn't even deserve that. And the end of this video, this is my wish list. It's not really a big deal, but these are cards that I wish would come back that I know have no shot in hell ever coming back. I have my own reasons for them. They're all weak to space. I think Imperial Order will really add an aspect to the game that we haven't really felt. And Premature Burial is, I just like it because we need monster. We need some type of monster reincarnation ability besides Call, but I mean, we have enough of that in our own decks between Gigi and Mermail, Evil Swarm, and Firefish, so maybe not, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Premature Burial come back. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I wanted to try to make it as quick as possible. Let me know what y'all think about the decks of this format and your opinions. I really love this format, and I'm going to miss it. It sucks that it was our shortest format, but, hopefully next format won't be too different from this one, because this one was really good overall. That's basically it. So again, like the video and share it. Share my video. and subscribe to my channel so you can know some more of what I have to say. To all my curry heads out there, which I'm gonna make a video explaining what a curry head is exactly. Some of y'all curry heads, y'all don't even know it yet. Anyway, this is your boy D Nasty Karibo, and I'm out.